I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. One person is dead and another critically injured in a multi-vehicle wreck in Flagler County. The Florida Highway Patrol says it happened on I95 northbound just south of Palm Coast Parkway. Troopers say 35-year-old Charles Stewart of Port Orange was driving a pickup truck that collided with a Chevy Malibu that had stopped, causing a chain reaction crash that involved two other vehicles. A passenger in the Chevy, 42-year-old Melody Roberts of Fernandina Beach, was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the Chevy, a 44-year-old man, was taken to Halifax Health Medical Center with critical injuries. Another man from North Carolina was also hurt. Police say charges will be filed against Stewart. The crash happened just 3 hours after a double fatal crash a few miles north near Matanzas Woods Parkway, where an RV blew a tire and crashed into trees. Palm Coast officials have made a financial commitment towards winning approval for a landmark medical education complex. John Arking has the details.
At its January 7th meeting, Palm Coast City Council unanimously approved a transfer of $1.5 million from its general fund reserve to its non-departmental general fund, which Mayor Melissa Holland says stands as a symbol from the city that it is serious about the proposed UNF MedNex healthcare education hub proposed for Palm Coast. If the legislature approves the hub, the money would need a final vote from council before being expended. Councilman Nick Klufus.
This is just more of a unified commitment that our city and our city leaders are trying to embrace the fact that we understand how critical and transformative this medical nexus could be to the city of Palm Coast. And if we have to build a simulation lab in partnership with Advent Health to be able to actually bring that to fruition, then all of our city council were willing to do that. And we understand that this is the opportunity for Palm Coast to be different and be transformative and to embrace the future and really, really kickstart our trajectory to success.
Klufus says a best case scenario would have the medical nexus make its way through the appropriations and the legislature, and he envisions the money being spent on the simulation lab as planned. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arkin.
Wanted fugitives are in custody after Flagler County deputies and Bunnell police officers worked together on two stolen vehicle incidents. Tony Magoo has more.
Multiple fugitives have been apprehended and two stolen vehicles have been recovered by the Flagler County Sheriff's Office working in conjunction with the Bunnell Police Department. On Wednesday morning, the 22nd, Bunnell PD, along with Sheriff Staley and Flagler County deputies, conducted a felony traffic stop on South State Street in Bunnell. Sheriff Staley is here to describe what happened next.
We jointly conducted a felony traffic stop and arrested the driver, who is also a fugitive from New York.
Then on Sunday morning, sheriff's deputies responded to the report of a stolen vehicle with North Carolina license tags. The driver fled the scene, later crashing into a tree line. Then what, Sheriff?
The driver kept trying to get his vehicle moving again, refused to comply, and was apprehended with the use of a taser.
The driver was identified as 44-year-old Toronto Smith, and the passenger was identified as 41-year-old Tyra McGreen. Their vehicle had multiple open containers. Smith, who also had active warrants in Volusia County, remains in jail. Green has a bond of $3,500. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
The Florida Constitution says we must balance our budget.
That means that the state cannot spend more money than it takes in. So
we do a little bit for teacher salaries.
So says our District 24 state rep Paul Renner. He said that the legislature is working on upping teacher salaries.
I think we'll get to a point where we can start moving in a positive direction and see some increase in compensation for public school teachers.
Renner said that legislators are working with all facets of educators, new teachers, veteran teachers, and those in between to see what teachers need to continue teaching children in Florida. To hear the entire interview with Representative Paul Renner, download the Flagler radio app and then go to the Free for All Friday podcast. Tomorrow, more on the House session and MedNex with Representative Renner. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.